Listen to me, this matters. Your life isn't falling apart randomly. Collapse is coded. Your nervous system, your identity, and your spirit have been trying to get your attention for a very long time. And this is the moment everything finally breaks open. Stay with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you won't just understand why your life feels like it's collapsing. You'll walk away with a clear, actionable blueprint to rebuild your courage, your clarity, your finances, and your identity from the ground up. And here's my promise. By the end of this video, the panic in your chest will make sense. Your story will make sense. You will make sense again. Hi, Unbreakable Leaders. I'm Pav Lertjitbanjong, courage decision scientist and founder of PAVNESS, the Unbreakable Leadership Lab. For 23 years inside top Fortune 500 brands, I studied why some leaders crumble under pressure while others rise. Welcome to Courage Under Pressure, where we rebuild your clarity, your courage, and your leadership in a world moving faster than your nervous system. Let's begin. You and I are meeting at a very specific moment in your life, the moment when your old identity is dying. Maybe your relationship fell apart, maybe your career collapsed, maybe you're burned out, numb, exhausted, maybe everything that once made sense suddenly doesn't. If you're here, hearing this, it means something in part one cracked something open inside you. A crack big enough for truth to slip in. Now I want to tell you a story, not so you feel bad for me, or admire me, or think I'm strong. I'm telling you this because my collapse is the mirror for yours. Everything I'm about to say, you've lived in your own way. There was a season of my life where everything looked successful on paper. People saw the job, the home, the marriage, the performance, the woman who never breaks. But inside, I was dying in silence. When my life finally collapsed, it wasn't gentle, it was violent. It was the universe ripping the floor out from under me in one motion. I walked away from a cushioned life, a 5-bedroom home, and ended up in a shoebox apartment in New York City with almost nothing except my 2 pet rabbits and a nervous system in free fall. For months, I cried every day. For months, I lived on ramen and fear, wondering where my next meal would come from. But the hardest part wasn't the brokenness or the loneliness or even the heartbreak. It was the soul-shattering realization that I had built a life that looked successful, but wasn't mine. I was performing, not living. If you're listening right now, you know exactly what that feels like. You've performed your way into roles and routines that don't fit your soul anymore. You've done everything right and still feel like something is profoundly wrong. Now let me tell you the moment everything changed. During my divorce, at my absolute lowest point, my lawyer said, "We need your budget or we can't proceed, period." I hadn't tracked a budget like that since I was 16. I opened my accounts expecting humiliation. Instead, I found something I didn't even remember existed. A forgotten 401 that had been automatically invested for years. Multiple 6 figures. My entire body went still because at the exact moment I felt the most broke, mentally, financially, spiritually, I discovered something sacred. You're not as broken as you think. You're not as lost as you feel. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from faith. God always leaves a seed of return. That forgotten account became the first spark of my comeback. I used it to stabilize myself, to clear $100,000 of debt, to build what I now call my bold backup plan. And eventually, it became the reason I could leave my cushioned $300,000 corporate job to train the next generation of leaders in a world built on pressure. But that wasn't the moment that changed me. The moment that changed me was this. My grandmother, the woman who raised me, was dying. And I missed her final moments because I was working on slide 37 of a deck no one remembers. She took her last breath while I was editing bullet points. That moment broke me in a way I never recovered from, but I rebuilt from. Because in that moment, I realized something you might be realizing right now. You can gain the whole world and still lose yourself. You can hit every milestone and still feel empty. You can perform success and still feel spiritually bankrupt. And sometimes collapse becomes the only language your soul has left to get your attention. That's when I understood. You're not falling apart because you're weak. You're falling apart because your soul refuses to live a lie anymore. Let me give you the twist. The moment your story shifts, a reset is not the end. A reset is the teacher. A reset is mercy. A reset is alignment disguised as loss. Now let's bring in the science. Pressure psychology. When your life collapses, 3 things hit you at once. Decisional drag. Your brain goes foggy under overload. Chaos, fragility. You lose capacity for things you used to tolerate. Pressure, identity collapse. The version of you built on survival begins to dissolve. This isn't failure, this is intelligence. Your nervous system is not betraying you, it is trying to save you. So let's shift this from inspiration to strategy. Here's the courage under pressure protocol, the exact process I used to rebuild in 5 phases. Phase 1, interrupt the spiral. Stop the collapse from dragging you under. When life falls apart, your nervous system goes into a pressure pattern loop. Freeze. I can't move. Fight. I must fix everything now. Fawn. I'll make myself small to survive. Flight. I want to disappear. You cannot reset your life until you interrupt that loop. Do this immediately. Stand up. Put your hand on your chest. Say out loud, I am not in danger. My life is shifting. This interrupts the trauma-coded meaning your mind is attaching to the collapse. This step saves the viewer from drowning in their own panic. Phase 2, locate the real loss. Collapse feels chaotic because you're trying to fix the wrong thing. People think they're grieving money, relationship, job, identity, stability. No, you're grieving a broken illusion. Who you thought you needed to be, a role you outgrew, a story that stopped being true, a version of you built on survival. Ask yourself, what actually ended? Not the surface loss, the root loss. This gives your collapse meaning. Meaning is what ends panic. Phase 3, find the anchor. Every collapse hides one thing that keeps you alive. The forgotten 401 was your anchor. But for the viewer, it might be a skill, a relationship, faith, a mentor, a savings account, a spiritual knowing, a moment of clarity, one idea, their resilience, their courage, their intuition. Ask, what do I still have? Not what you lost, what remains. Humans don't rebuild from abundance. We rebuild from the seed that survives the fire. This step gives the viewer their comeback starting point. Phase 4, cut the collapsed identity. You can't rebuild your life using the person who broke. Collapse happens because your inner architecture fails. You cannot use the people pleaser, the perfectionist, the overachiever, the good girl, the performer, the invisible one, the one who swallowed everything, the one who survived abuse, the one who stayed silent. To build the life you're meant to have, write this sentence. This identity got me here. It won't get me there. This releases decades of emotional weight in 10 seconds. This step rebirths the viewer's identity without forcing them to be positive. Phase 5, execute the next brave step. Don't rebuild your life with a plan. You rebuild it with courage. When life collapses, the biggest lie is, I need a full plan. No, you need one brave move, one phone call, one boundary, one conversation, one piece of paperwork, one resume update, one workout, one prayer, one commitment. Courage is not a feeling. Courage is a state you train. Your only job is to choose the next brave step, not the next 50. This is what pulls people out of collapse and into momentum. Let me speak directly to you now. Your version of rock bottom might look different than mine, but the message is the same. When everything falls apart, something new is being born. You're not failing, you're awakening, you're not losing, you're remembering, you're not collapsing, you're clearing. And just like I found that forgotten 401, you will find your own unexpected provision. God always leaves you something, a resource, a person, a whisper, a truth. That something becomes the cornerstone of your rebuilding. You don't need the whole plan. You just need the next brave step. If you're a leader trying to stay clear, confident, and courageous in a world that keeps throwing pressure at you, this is your show. Subscribe, share this video with someone who needs it, like the video, and drop rebirth in the comments. And join my free newsletter at PAVNESS.com, packed with tools to elevate your courage, clarity, and leadership for the AI era. I'll see you in the next episode of PAVNESS Unbreakable Leadership Lab.